Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Awesome Cook. I'm Jake Sikora, and on this week's episode, I am dedicating this to a viral recipe that's out there. I wish I created that recipe, but I did not. However, the way I'm using it is my take on using this, and that's a 2-ingredient dough. And I'm going to make a caramel cinnamon roll. It's going to create 12 servings at 3 smart points per serving. It's absolutely wonderful and a guilt-free way to have cinnamon rolls. So let's get started. So here are the ingredients to make our caramel cinnamon rolls. So to make the 2-ingredient dough, you'll just need some Greek yogurt, and we're using non-fat Greek yogurt, plain, and then some self-rising flour. It could be any brand, but it has to be self-rising. It cannot be all-purpose. You can use this dough that we're making for any type, pretty much any kind of doughy recipe like calzones, pizza dough, bagels. So that's for the dough. Now for the inside of the dough, you'll need some butter spray, light brown sugar, we're using some stevia, and of course cinnamon. And then on top we're going to drizzle this is some sugar-free, fat-free caramel syrup. It tastes great. It does not taste diety taste to it or artificial so much. So we're going to put the dough together first, and then we're going to do the inside part, and of course top it off with caramel afterwards. So let's get started. So I'm back. I put a cup and a half of Greek yogurt and a cup and a half of self-rising flour in the bowl, and we're just going to mix this up and create the dough. Once I get this all mixed up, I will come back and show you the next step. So this is the dough, what it should look like. And I put a little flour on my countertop. And it's going to find a little bit sticky, and you can add a little bit of flour. For those people who are on Weight Watchers and counting points, I'm going to just tell you that I'm not going to be particular in counting the little dusting of flour on there. So what I'm doing right now is just kneading the dough a little bit here. And if you need to, you can add a little bit of flour on the countertop because you don't want it to stick. Next, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my rolling pin and just roll it out into a nice square here. So I'm going to finish rolling this out and come back and show you the next step. Okay, so I'm back. So I rolled out the dough. I sprayed it down with some butter spray. And in this bowl, I put a 1/4 cup of packed light brown sugar. I put 5 packets of stevia. So I would say that's probably about a couple tablespoons of stevia. And why I do that is then you can cut back on the brown sugar and it's still sweet. And plus, of course, one thing I failed to mention with cinnamon rolls, you're going to need cinnamon. So I did put about a few tablespoons of cinnamon in here. So what you're going to do next is just spread this on the dough. One nice thing about this dough is that you don't have to mess with yeast, which is wonderful, besides it being healthy. And I know there's some people who, especially Weight Watchers people, they've already heard about this, but there's some people out there who have not. So I just want to make sure I educate the masses when it comes to the 2-ingredient dough. So you want to make sure it's nice and coated. The next thing that we're going to do is roll this into a log. You have to be kind of careful. And just take your time so you don't break the dough. Everything's going to be even. Up, 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 up. Sure it gets sealed. You don't have to press hard because you don't want it flattened, but you come up with a nice roll. I'm going to come back and grab a knife to cut these into rolls. So I'm back. So I cut this in half, and I already put some of this in a greased Pyrex pan, which I'll show you in a second. And I sprayed it with butter non-stick spray. So this is a trick I learned. You can do it if you have a very sharp serrated knife. However, I find this easier. This is dental floss. It doesn't matter really if it's mint or not, because you're not gonna taste the mint if you use mint. You don't have to go out and buy a special one. But you go and put this underneath. You can see as I lift it underneath the log, and you just cross it, and it will cut your cinnamon rolls pretty quickly. So you just go underneath, cross, and you're going to cut your cinnamon rolls. I'm going to show you. See? Perfect cinnamon rolls. Cut. No muss, no fuss. Easy peasy. And I'm going to continue on with this, and I'll come back, and we're going to put them in the oven. So here we go. 12 cinnamon rolls. This is going to go into an oven that was preheated at 350 for about 20 to 30 minutes. And I'll be back to show you the finished product. Okay, so I left these in about 25 minutes in here, and I'm going to get an oven mitt, pot holders so you can see a little bit closer. You can see how amazing they look. You can see there's a couple that are a little bit bigger. I tried to do my best. I'm not perfect. And you don't have to be either in the kitchen. But I'm going to use the syrup, and we're going to just drizzle it on. And for 2 tablespoons, there's 0 calories in this, so you can be pretty liberal with the sauce on this. And there are recipes out there that use the frosting, and you can certainly find one out there. I prefer not to do it. I'm not a huge frosting person anyway, so I prefer the caramel. And especially when caramel sauce in general is so, for us Weight Watchers people, is so bad because it's mainly sugar in here. I'm gonna get some over here. wish you can smell it here because it is amazing. Okay. It's down. And now I'm going to show you a little bit what they look like in the light. And I'm going to try it here in just a second. And man, they smell so good. I'm back with the cinnamon roll, and I'm going to try it. That is really amazing. And it's only 3 smart points per serving. And you make 12 servings, so you can divvy it up if you like. Make it for breakfast for guests. I'm sure they're going to love it as well as you. I hope you hit that subscribe button and continue watching my weekly episodes. Or if you're on Weight Watchers Connect, you can definitely follow me at JASikora1981. That's JASIK 1981. Until next Monday, stay awesome.